Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills.
Hi everyone, I'm here doing another one of my quick little videos on one of the stocks that I've been following lately, that being Mullen Automotive. Again, I have to apologise, I haven't had the time to properly sit down and prepare something, but there is a bit to talk about because there was a lot happening with the stock on Tuesday, so I just want to talk a little bit about what I think's going on. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a dive into working out what is pressuring the stock price back down following what's been basically a 1 month rally. I think Tuesday's dip has a couple of catalysts to talk about. The first being the 10K filing from the company, and the second being some legal issues they are facing in the form of class actions, the latter of which there is a shareholder meeting today, so there'll be a bit to come out from that, although I don't think you really get that much coming from class actions. They're like a dime a dozen. Most of them never get up anyway. Anyway, let's get into it. So Mullen Automotive, electric vehicle company, as you all know, has been in the spotlight yesterday, largely because of the submission of a 10K form they did recently. The form revealed that cash from customer deposits is restricted from being used to fund operations. The company currently only offers pre-orders for one vehicle, the Mullen Five, with a price tag of $55,000, and to secure it, customers only had to pay a refundable deposit of just $100. So it's not a big deposit, and it's not a secure deposit. Okay, so last year, the company announced that pre-orders for the Mullen Five had actually quadrupled, attributed to its strikingly different tour, if you kind of remember that. And I think the next month in November, the company raised its 5 reservation limit to 25,000 vehicles from 5,000 vehicles. So it looks like they've kind of done some stuff which has perhaps inflated their numbers of pre-orders more so than what they're potentially capable of producing. So production of the Five, well, that pre ordering thing sounds actually very reminiscent of EV company I was looking at last year a fair bit, called Lordstown Motors, or Ride, if you remember that one. Anyway, I think the production of the Five is scheduled to start in Q4 of this year, and deliveries start in 2024. So the recently released form of the 10K wrote that it now expects production to begin later in 2024. So this has pushed this down the track. So it's going to be another 6 months to the company starts seeing revenue from this vehicle. So that's obviously a big blow for the stock, and probably the primary driver of what's happening. Moving on to the other catalyst, which I think is worth mentioning, but the company is also holding a special shareholder meeting today to discuss the increase of outstanding shares that occurred during the July 26, 2022 annual meeting of stockholders. The hearing, I think, is later. It's either this week or next week. I think it's January 23rd might be the date. I think the main issue being raised by the plaintiffs in this case is that the majority of shareholders were not in favour of the increase in shares. So it was the board, operating outside of the wishes of the shareholders, which is a major thing, but can be hard to prove. The company intends to ratify the 2022 certificate of amendment with the Delaware Court of Chancery filing. I'm just reading this off my screen here, and the date for a hearing is going to be January 23rd. So the board is planning to ratify all that's going on. So it's going to be interesting to see what they say in this meeting today about this, because it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not in the class action, I'm not in the stock, just kind of watching it a bit here. But the class actions often, their complaints often overreach a little bit. But like when you're a pre-revenue on a big project like this, it's kind of, it could be some dodgy dealings from the board, trying to enrich themselves because they've got the power to, sort of thing. Anyway, so Tuesday's trading session yesterday, like I said, the stock was down by 16%, and it's largely on the back of these two catalysts. And I think, depending on what comes out of this meeting, I'm actually not sure what time it is on. If you actually know the time of the meeting, or you're going to attend it, just let me know in the comments. I'll have to try and, I don't think I'm going to be able to jump into it. It is virtually being held, but I won't be able to get into it. Unfortunately, I'm not a shareholder, so I can't. So anyway, but if you know what time it is, let me know, and I'll try and follow what's going on with it and maybe provide a bit of an update anyway. Let me know your thoughts on what's happening with Mullen at the moment, and stay tuned for more Mullen Automotive updates and its developments in this electric vehicle market. I'll do my best to keep covering it as best I can. Until next time, may the markets trade in your favour, and maybe I can make some better produced videos. Cheers.